Good evening everyone, and welcome to the Daily JPL number 9, and I'd like to start this off by saying that Hot Shots Golf World Invitational has been beaten. Now don't get beaten confused with completed, because completed is when you finish everything 100%, and beaten is when you get the end credits to roll, and that's exactly what happened last night. So after I got the credits to roll, there was another versus match that I had unlocked, and after I beat him, then I ended up getting the true ending, and I also got a trophy for that. So I'm pretty excited about my final win. Although I am kind of disappointed that the match was kind of too easy. He kind of gave it up to me like a cheap floozy on a prom night. But I'm also relieved at the same time that I don't have to spend another day trying to beat one event. So there still is a lot more left for me to do in the single player. There is this platinum rank that had unlocked, and within the platinum rank are events that are inaccessible to me until I acquire a certain number of crowns. Now, if you remember a few blogs ago, I talked about crowns, how they're given to you when you win an event with a certain condition, like win with 3 bogeys or win with a chip and eagle, something like that. So I'm not too sure if I want to continue to invest time in this game, but I would really like to see what the events are like in the platinum rank. So I'm going to try to do the review tonight, and if I get it done, it should be up by midnight tonight, possibly earlier, or sometime tomorrow at the latest. So be on the lookout for that. And if you have a PS Vita and you like the golf games, and the Hot Shots franchise in particular, then you would definitely do good to pick it up, because in my opinion, for $40, you get a very extensive single-player campaign, as well as a lot of online features and collectibles to continue to keep coming back. So it's a great game, great value. Definitely pick it up if you have a Vita. And if you're on the fence getting a Vita, if you like golf games, then this is, my opinion, the killer app, because it's really worth getting a system for. So my next order of business that I want to talk about is a couple of new freshly published reviews on GameSpot.com. And the first one is Street Fighter X Tekken. And I'm sorry, even though they say Street Fighter Cross Tekken, cross, in my opinion, is 2 lines, 1 vertical and 1 horizontal, where an X is 2 lines intersecting diagonally. And this is exactly what it looks like to me, Street Fighter X Tekken. And I'm sorry, I'm always going to call it X, I will never say it cross, and if that weirds you out, if that pisses you off, if that bothers you, then just go see a psychiatrist, because I'm not going to change the way I say it. Anyway, Street Fighter X Tekken got an 8.5 for both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 3 systems, and I really would kind of like to play it. However, I'm not really in the fighting game mood like I used to be a few years ago, and I'm also kind of embarrassed to admit, but I still have Tekken 4 and 5 sealed. And I did kind of play Tekken 5 in the form of Tekken Dark I think it was Tekken Dark Resurrection for the PSP, and I thought it was a fantastic game, but I just never got around to actually playing the console version. And I still never got around to getting Tekken 6, so it seems kind of weird for me to play Street Fighter X Tekken before I play the other Tekkens, even though they're not related in the slightest. They're just, characters. I also saw it played on the Tester, and I don't know if you know what the Tester is, but the Tester is a reality TV, sort of a reality webisode that's hosted on the PSN, and it's about gamers who participate in this competition to become an employee for Sony Computer Entertainment, doing video game testing. And some of these participants, they have aspiring dreams to become video game developers. And we all know that if you're pursuing a career in video game making, you got to start on the bottom rung, which is video game testing. So it's kind of it's an entertaining show in its own right. I get a kick out of it. I like to watch things that are free. Anyway, I ended up seeing Street Fighter X Tekken being played as sort of a kind of a pole position type event, where the winner gets an advantage for their team. And it really did look like a lot of fun. I think it has a very awesome, I think the graphics are pretty awesome, but it seems like the Tekken fighters don't really act like Tekken. They sort of seem like they've been adapted for the Street Fighter engine, and that just seems kind of odd to me. Anyway, the next game that I want to talk about that was reviewed was the Silent Hill HD Collection, and they gave it a 7.0. Now, the thing that bothers me about this HD collection is that, in my opinion, in my mind, I'm seeing a collection as starting with the first and ending with whatever game whatever installment they decided to leave off at. So this also bothered me with the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, because it didn't have the first game, while Silent Hill HD collection doesn't have the first Silent Hill. So how can you really call that a collection? And I don't know, it's just, I haven't played these games in so long, and even though I do consider Silent Hill 2 and 3 to be some of the best survival horror games of pretty much ever made, it's just, I have no interest in it without the first. You know, I don't care how awesome the Silent Hill 2 and 3 is in high definition. I don't care if they incorporated virtual reality where you actually feel yourself being, you know, slashed by Pyramid Head. Without the first, it loses all appeal. I mean, it's like releasing the Eco and Shadow of the Colossus collection without Eco. You know, the collection is incomplete in my opinion. So anyway, that's it that I wanted to talk about for gaming. The last thing I wanted to talk about is I'm finishing up Tru Blood first season tonight. I'm on the last disc, episodes 10 and 11, or maybe it's 11 and 12, I forget. But anyway, I do think that this is a really awesome TV show, or cable show. I do have problems with it though. I still don't like the fact that vampires have to be invited, and even though they dispelled a lot of myths about how vampires aren't allergic to garlic and how vampires do have reflections, it just seems kind of picky-choosy with the type of rules that this show follows. And even though they have no problems, you know, standing in front of a cross, they still have to be invited into a house. That just, I don't know, that just doesn't seem like something that's explained very well. And also the characters, I started liking some of the characters, and I thought, hey, you know, this is somebody that I could attach myself with, and then all of a sudden something would change in the storyline, in the writing, and then they'd end up doing something that kind of makes their character kind of despicable. It just seems like, you know, they build a character up for you to like it, and then all of a sudden they just yank the rug out from underneath you, and then you're just back to hating them. And I don't know, it seems like it's having a kind of a hard time finding its stability. But even with that said, it's still a really enjoyable show for me. So as soon as I finish the first season, I'm going to see if I can get the second one from the library right away, because I really am addicted. Anyway, that is all for tonight, and as usual, thanks for watching.